live?
Yeah, look, I'm going to check with her.
Yes, we are live. Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Okay. All right then, welcome to the February 15th meeting of the Senate Executive Nominations Committee. We have 18
I think I'm okay. I'm just gonna, unless there's some amendments that we need, if there's some new amendments we need to print out, maybe we ought to do that. Okay.
Okay. All right, I don't know what that was about. We're live.
And our judges are here.
Okay, and Charity will be swearing him in.
Yes.
Okay, I'll start over again. Welcome to the February 15th meeting of the Senate Executive Nominations Committee. We have 18 people we are hearing tonight. We excuse those people who have appeared before us before to somebody is on here with their live. Okay, we have 5 judges this evening. Charity, are they all present?
Okay.
Are the 5 judges all present?
Mindy, are they all in?
Mindy?
It looks like they are. Senator Young, or Chair Young, I want to go ahead and administer the oath.
Yes, administer the oath.
Okay, if everyone would raise their right hand. Do you solemnly swear under the penalties of perjury that the statements you make and the testimony you give before this committee will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we will move forward with the first one, which is District Court, Anne Arundel County, District 7. Judge Kemp Hammond and Senator Elfreth, are you there?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Sarah Elfreth from District 30 here to stand proudly with my friend, Judge Kemp Hammond. Just looking through, I know him first and foremost as the neighbor to a good family friend who is the most reliable neighbor you could ever ask for, to have someone near you who you love. But he has a long history before being appointed to the bench in the State's Attorney's Office here in Anne Arundel County, in private practice, and finally the last 5+ years with the Anne Arundel County, Maryland Office of Law. He is incredibly prepared for this duty. And I learned, Kemp, I didn't know that you played the saxophone until I read your resume that was provided to this committee. So with that fine note, Mr. Chair, I highly recommend Judge Hammond for this position.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Judge, would you like to say something?
Yes, I was actually in a wedding band, but that's not on the resume. Thank you to Senator Elfreth for the introduction, and to Chairman Young and Vice Chair Beidel, and everybody else in the committee for your consideration. And thanks to Governor Hogan for the tremendous honor. I'm still hasn't sunk in yet. It's an unbelievable honor to serve the state and the citizens of Anne Arundel County, where I've lived and worked my whole life. And I actually have my family here. I just want to introduce my kids who may come up here just for a second. Jack and Lucy. They're going to school within a mile of where I grew up. So it's awesome. It's as I said, unbelievable. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Okay. Are there any questions for Judge Hammond?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. Chairman, just want to say that's an even better show up than Cal Ripken Jr. from last week.
Well, they've held the records for 2,131 days of whining. So, that's all right.
Okay, I am fanning everyone.
Mr. Chair,
Not see any hands.
Vice Chair.
Yes, Senator Beidel.
Thank you. I just want to congratulate Mr. Hammond. I'm so pleased to see that he received this appointment, and I know he's going to do a great job for the citizens of the county. So congratulations, Judge Hammond.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll just do it now and not do it 4 more times. We do background checks every week to see if there's anything that pops out on any of the people that, particularly the judges, are coming up, and nothing did. Nothing but good things, that is. So one more chance if anyone else has anything to say or would like to ask a question. And if not, thank you, Judge Hammond, for being here. Nice looking family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. We will move on to District Court, Baltimore County, District 8, and Judge Marsha Russell and Senator Jennings.
Love nice parents to be able to do that.
Senator, are you here?
Guys, leave her. Bye.
I'm doing a check. I do not.
I haven't admitted him. I haven't seen his name come up.
Okay. Is there anyone else here? I'm sure that knows Judge Russell that would like to say anything. If not, I will just go to Judge Russell. Okay, Judge Russell.
Hey, Judge Russell.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's good to be here, and I thank the members of the committee. I've been with the district court for the past 10 years, and I'm really honored to have been able to serve the citizens of the state of Maryland and Baltimore County. I really look forward to another 10 years. This is my second confirmation hearing. And so I just thank everyone for your support and thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. Any
Okay, thank you.
from any of the senators?
Any of the senators?
I'm looking for hands. And
Looking for hands.
and I'm getting someone have their microphone on.
Someone have their microphone on.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting feedback each time I talk.
Don't know what it is, but I'm getting feedback each time I talk.
Well, thank you for being here.
Well,
Look, you can serve a couple
thank you
more
for being here.
times.
Look, yeah, you can serve a couple more times.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Charity or Mindy, can you check and see if you can find out what's causing the,
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if anybody has their YouTube on in the background. That could cause feedback as well. Let me check the mics.
okay, well, the last time I spoke, it didn't repeat, so maybe,
Yeah, it seems like it's been resolved.
okay, thank you. Let's move on to Judge Leo Ryan Jr., District 11, and Senator Hedelman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair. I'm Shelley Hedelman, Senator from District 11, and I'm very pleased this afternoon to present Judge Leo Ryan Jr. He has been a judge in the District Court of Maryland for the past 20 years and been reappointed for another 10 years. He has spent 10 years in private practice, plus his tenure as a deputy state's attorney for Baltimore County, and brings a wealth of knowledge to the bench. Judge Ryan is well respected by the judicial community and deserves to continue as a district court judge. I had the opportunity to talk with Judge Ryan a number of weeks ago, and very pleased to recommend him for this appointment. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. And Judge Ryan?
Yes, I'm glad to see that the committee struggles with some of the same issues that we do when we have remote hearings in court. And I also want to mention that my good friend and colleague, Marsha Russell, asked me what I was going to say to the committee. And I made her promise she wouldn't say what I told her, and then she did. She told you exactly what I was going to, that it's been an honor to serve the citizens of Maryland for the last 10 years. I look forward to the opportunity to do it for the next 10. I'm grateful to the governor for reappointing me. and grateful to the committee and to Senator Heddleman for this process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And are there any questions or comments from any of the senators? Senator Kelly, did I see your arm go up? No. Okay. I see none. So with that, thank you, Judge Ryan, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and I don't know if I'll get the pronunciation right on this, but District Court, Carroll and Howard Counties, Ricardo Zweig, Senator Hester.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Chairman Young, Vice Chair Beidel, esteemed members of the committee. For the record, Senator Katie Fry Hester, honored to represent District 9, Carroll and Howard counties. Today, I'm honored to introduce Ricardo Zweig to the District Court of Maryland for Howard County. This judge has served on the District Court of Maryland for Howard County and has been a judge in charge of the Drug and DUI Court since 2012. His court is unique in that it is a problem-solving style court, bringing a team approach to helping people reform their lives. I recently learned that he is Vanessa Atterbury, and she speaks incredibly highly of him as well. Judge Zweig has been committed to public service since he was an assistant public defender in 1983, and he now volunteers his time with our schools, serving as a mentor to high school students in Howard County and across the state of Maryland. He received the Howard County's first Hispanic Leadership Award in 2017 for the incredible dedication and compassion he brings into the courtroom. Thank you so much for your commitment to service. Thank you, Judge Zweig, for being here. Over to you.
Wow.
Senator Judge Zweig.
I'd like to say, first of all, thank you for hearing me, Chairman Young and Vice Chair Beidel. I'm really honored to be here. To say that I'm not nervous would be not the truth. I am quite nervous, and I'm usually accustomed to speaking to large crowds, but this is a humbling moment speaking to members of our Senate. It really is. I would say that my tenure in the drug court and DUI court in Howard County has been in many, many ways incredibly satisfying, but also rather sad because of the pain and suffering that we see from people that we, unfortunately, from time to time lose. But we have, as I spoke with Senator Hester, we've made, not just us in Howard County, but throughout the state, we have about 54 problem-solving courts have made an incredible dent, if you will, if that's the right word, or impact on that community. And our death rate is going down in Maryland, which is, I think, an excellent statement about what problem-solving courts can do. It's just a real honor to be able to serve in a way that I can help solve the problems of people that come before me on a regular basis. It's a humbling moment, it's challenging, and it helps me also, quite frankly, to grow as a human being. Right now, I'm working with Judge Ron Silkworth from Anne Arundel County Circuit Court. He's a retired senior judge, and we're trying to bring a behavioral science court to the rest of the judiciary for enhancing this whole process of problem-solving courts and helping everybody better understand what that is all about. I thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to appear before you. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to try to answer them.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions or comments from any of the members of the committee? I am looking through the group. I do not see any, so obviously you did okay, so you don't have to be nervous, but thank you.
Thank you very much. By the way, I also play blues harmonica.
Oh, well, maybe
I get together with, thank you, Senator Hayes.
We can get a band together here.
Anyway,
right.
Thank you again.
Very much. Mm-hmm. So we will move to District Court in Prince George's County, District 5, Byron Bariano and Senator Pinsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I have the pleasure of introducing Brian Bariano for a 10-year district court judgeship. He has served on the bench. He's been very active in the community. I know that because he lives in my own community, not too many blocks away. And I need to say that, you know, he has an understated presence. And I think it is a great match in terms of judicial temperament, the kind of people we want on the bench who are understanding and empathetic and not one who feels he or she has to hog the limelight. And it's about the people in front of the bench, not behind the bench. So I strongly recommend him. You know, we've gotten to know each other some. We're not best friends because we haven't had as much interaction. But over the last couple of years, I've gotten to know him and respect him, and he's very well respected on the bench and in the community. So again, I bring before you Brian Bariano.
Okay. Judge Bariano.
Thank you, Senator Pinsky. I appreciate those kind words. I do enjoy the fact that it's nice to be able to see your senator just walking around the neighborhood. It's a nice feeling to be able to have that connection and have that kind of community feeling. So thank you, Senator. I appreciate that. I wanted to thank you, Chairman Young, Vice Chair Senator Biddle, President Ferguson. Thank you all very much. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the other Prince George's County members on the committee, Senator Peters and Senator Griffiths and Senator Rosa Pep as well too. I realized that I'm not as prepared as I should have been for today from Judge Hammond because I did not bring my kids to have them ready. I gave them iPads and said, here you go, Daddy has to go do a work call real quick. So I should have done a better job in presenting my better part of my family, which would have been my children, which I see Senator Elfreth has come back on. They still talk about Senator Elfreth, who was kind enough to give us a tour of the Baltimore Aquarium. And they still have the sharks, the stuffy sharks that she gave. So thank you, Senator, for that. My kids still enjoy that. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I also do not play any musical instruments. So I feel like I'm a little unprepared there. And I feel like now I need to kind of, you know, do something about that and fix that. So, but in all seriousness, I want to thank the committee. I want to thank Governor Hogan for the appointment. And also, I'm just excited about continuing to serve and represent the citizens of Prince George's County on the district court and try and do the best job that I can for the citizens of Prince George's County. So if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions from the committee.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments from any of the committee members? And I am seeing none. So you did. Okay. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you very much. Everyone have a good, safe evening.
Okay. All right, then we will move on to Community Health Resource Commission. Karen Finkelstein and Senator Elfreth, excuse me. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm looking for Karen before I start. Oh, there we go. So thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Sarah Elfreth, representing Maryland's 30th District, here to proudly recommend Ms. Lichtenstein for this particular board. As you can see in her resume, she has been active in the disability community and health community for her entire career, spending since 1994 as the CEO of the Coordinating Center, which provides support and fiscal oversight for nonprofit organizations across the state. She's also deeply involved in our community, and I'm proud to recommend her for this position. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lichtenstein.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Thank you very much. I'm very delighted to be here. I'm honored to be appointed to this commission, the Community Health Resources Commission mission to of expanding healthcare for underserved communities and for supporting innovative ideas for organizations is near and dear to my heart. I am a passionate advocate for people with disabilities and complex medical needs. And as was just mentioned, have been the CEO of an organization. I am recently retired, but that supported individuals with complex medical needs and disabilities who live throughout the community and are part of community inclusion. So I'm just really honored and want to thank you and the committee.
Okay. Any comments or questions for Mr. Lichtenstein?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Senator Bynum. Karen, it's so nice to see you again. And I know that you just did an amazing job at the coordinating center, and I'm happy you're not full retirement. It's great to have you representing us on the Health Resources Commission. Thank you.
It's so nice to see you. Thank you. Yeah, I love that you're there.
Do you have any family connections in Frederick?
No.
Oh, you're the first Lichtenstein I've met since I knew two as kids in Frederick.
That's funny. There's a doctor who I always get asked, am I related to, here in town in Annapolis? So.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's a delight.
Okay, we're going to move to the handgun roster board. And the first is Charles Robinson Sr. and Senator Gazan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Happy to present Charles Robinson. He's a local businessman in Columbia. He owns the Silverback Business Center. He's also had a background, corporate background with Sprint, as a marketing degree from the University of Florida. Mr. Robinson.
Yes, I'm here. First of all, thank you very much to my senator for recommending me, and also for the Governor Hogan. I'm a 35-year resident of Maryland. I have been a member of the Maryland MBE since 2003. I own a business, I own a printing company that do printing for the state of Maryland and also for the federal government. I hold, well, you read part of my background. I also hold a Maryland firearm license dealers, Maryland regulated dealer's license. I also hold a federal firearm license, Series 7, which is the highest license that you can get. It's a manufacturing of firearms and ammunition, and all other 6 license registrations come up under Maryland, under the FLL Series 7. The only FLL license that I don't hold is explosive. One of the benefits that it gives me is the knowledge and the understanding of firearms to make better suggestions to the state of Maryland on what should be and what should not be in the state of Maryland. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Robinson? Again, I see none, so thank you very much for being here. And
thank you, sir.
We'll move on to Carl Roy, the second of District 27, and Senator Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Michael Jackson, Senator for District 27, which covers Prince George's, parts of Charles and Calvert counties. It's a pleasure to introduce Mr. Carl Roy II in his nomination to serve as a member of the Handgun Permit Review Board. Mr. Roy is a resident of Calvert County, Owings, Maryland. And he's been the proprietor of the Maryland Small Arms Range in Upper Marlboro since 1975. An Air Force veteran, Mr. Roy would bring over 40 years of experience in the firearms industry if confirmed to the position. He's always been very active in the community in Southern Maryland. I've known Carl for over 30 years since I joined the Office of the Sheriff at the end of the late 80s. And I count him more than just a business person. I also count him as a friend. He's helped me out tremendously throughout my career, and while I served as sheriff in the county, his facility served as an outlet for us for additional trainings. Again, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Roy to the committee for his nomination to serve as a member of Maryland Handgun Roster Review Board. Very worthy candidate. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Roy.
Mr. Chairman, Michael, thank you very much for those kind words, and I believe I can address you as Michael over the years that we've known each other. And congratulations on your appointment too. I haven't had a chance to talk to you because I'm hiding away in Key West right now. But thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. As pointed out, I've been in business with the company Maryland Small Arms Range in Prince George's County for 46 years now. as a licensed dealer, and I've just about seen everything you can see dealing in the firearms business. We have just moved into our new location about 5 years ago, and hopefully this will be the permanent location we'll be at least for the time I'll be with the business. But I started in 1975 and have been going since then.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments other than we feel sorry for him for being in Key West?
In Key West, yeah.
Okay.
I've been punishing Michael, sending him pictures of the sunset, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, write a novel while you're down there.
I would like to point out, though, that I have testified in the Judiciary Committee a number of times on bills that have come up on gun legislation. I have left myself open for any questions that anybody in the legislature may have on dealing with the firearms industry itself and gun legislation, either proposed or already in existence.
Okay. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll move to the State Board of Physicians and Dr. Ritter from District 43 and Senator Washington.
Thank you, Chair Young and members of the committee. I'm very honored to recommend my constituent, Dr. Carol Ritter, to the State Board of Physicians. Dr. Ritter is currently the Director of Women's Minimally Invasive Surgery. It's in the Department of Gynecology. She's been with the Greater Baltimore Medical Center, and she has over 30 years of experience as a gynecologist. She sits on multiple advisory boards. She's traveled extensively supporting and doing her work in Haiti, Honduras, Sri Lanka, and Bosnia. And in fact, she was named 2005 Baltimorean of the Year and was selected as one of Baltimore's top docs for 4 years. Dr. Ritter has extensive experience, obviously, in the medical field and the specialty of gynecology, which again, I think is very important and needed for our board. And she will be an asset and a leader on the State Board of Physicians. I highly recommend to the committee that you confirm her appointment, and I introduce you to Dr. Ritter.
Thank you, Senator. Dr. Ritter.
Well, thank you very much for that lovely introduction, and I'm honored to be nominated on the Maryland Board of Physicians. I have been a proud licensed physician in Maryland since 1983, and since I moved here from Wisconsin, this is my new home, and this seems like Key West here compared to Wisconsin. So through my years of practice, I have worked really hard to maintain a practice that puts the patient first. And I believe that working through the Physicians Board of Maryland, I can work at the next level of doing that. We have seen the profession of medicine in flux. It requires a lot of commitment to self-education and collaboration with all the multiple systems that we have in place to try to keep us all healthy. And COVID has punctuated that, how fragile our system is. So I really appreciate the honor of being nominated for this committee to do this work.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Dr. Ritter?
Chairman?
Yeah.
Senator
Lamb?
Yeah, I just wanted to endorse her appointment to the Board of Physicians. I've known Dr. Ritter for many, many years. She's been a great advocate. We've done a lot of community work and just, looking forward to her ability to be able to continue her service to the state of Maryland on the Maryland Board of Physicians. So with that, I just wanted to wholeheartedly support her in this endeavor as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. No other questions or comments? Thank you very much, Doctor. And we will move on to Dr. Stitt, District 13, and Senator Gazan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Dr. Stitt is a practicing OBGYN in Annapolis. She is, I don't know if she's former, maybe she still is, an Army major. She was a staff physician at Fort Benning, Georgia, a few years back. She's published numerous papers and received numerous awards. Let me present Dr. Stitt.
Okay. Dr. Stead?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, panel. I appreciate this opportunity and I appreciate the nomination. I am as my senator has stated, I'm a board certified OBGYN. I'm originally from Columbia, Maryland, and did my residency at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. I'm a former major. I retired from the military 10 years ago. But proudly served my country for 7 years and was most recently stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia. I welcome this opportunity to serve the people of Maryland, the women of Maryland, the families of Maryland. I believe that medicine starts with women, and I am very wholeheartedly dedicated to women care because I believe that when we care for women in our society, we make sure that the rest of the family is well cared for and our population as a whole is cared for. I am very excited to take care of our population and make sure that that the women of Maryland, the families of Maryland are treated with respect and dignity and receive the utmost care. I appreciate the nomination.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for Dr. Stead? Looks like you're home free.
Thank you
very much. Okay, we'll move on to the Public Information Compliance Board, and we have Christopher Eddings and Senator Hedelman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. My name is Shelley Hedelman, Senator from District 11, and I'm happy to present my constituent, Christopher Eddings, to be considered as a member of the State Public Information Act Compliance Board, which he has served on for the past number of years. Mr. Eddings has a great deal of knowledge and experience in the print and digital communication sectors, and he's also a successful business executive. He served as president and publisher of the Daily Record here in Maryland, a division of the Dolan Company, for many years. Most recently, Mr. Eddings has been a member of the Board of Trustees of the Maryland DC Press Foundation. His many achievements have been recognized in both his professional and community involvement. In 2013, Mr. Eddings received the Walter Sondheim Award from the Greater Baltimore Committee, and throughout his career, he's been a leader in helping the entire Baltimore region through his volunteer work. Mr. Eddings' participation on the Public Information Act Compliance Board will continue to be a great asset to this distinguished board. I present Mr. Eddings. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Eddings.
Good afternoon. I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you and look forward to someday perhaps it being in person. I have been on the Public Information Compliance Board. In the initial setup of the board, I was one of the first members. Unfortunately, I was also the person who drew the short straw when we decided on the initial terms. So I was on the board for 1 year. And I was honored to be on it then, and I look forward to the possibility of going back. I think that there's nothing more important than figuring out the challenges that we all have with the knowledge of what's going on in government, how it affects us, and so much of what the board does is related to that. But in addition, I know that many people out there in the state depend upon the government of Maryland to provide them with information. And in some cases, it becomes something of a challenge to get that information in a way that is both intelligent and honorable and also provides them with what they need without impinging on the rights of others. So I'm particularly honored to have an opportunity to be back on the board. My experience in publishing, I think, has given me a real opportunity to understand what is on people's minds in the community that we serve. And my experience over many years in Baltimore in particular, but Maryland overall, has given me a lot of appreciation for what this state means to so many people. So I hope that I can further that with service on the board, and I thank you so much for listening to me. If there's anything that I can give you in the way of information, I'm happy to do so.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments for Mr. Eddings? I see none, so you did well. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The next board is the real estate appraisers, appraisal management companies, and home inspectors. It's the state commission of, and we have 5 appointees to that commission. And we will start with Nathan Cavey Jr. and Senator Hester.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, esteemed members of the committee. For the record, Senator Katie Fry Hester from District 9. Today, I'm proud to introduce Nathan J. Cavey Jr., a resident of Ellicott City, to the State Commission. When we spoke earlier today, I also learned that he lives just across the other side of the woods from me, less than a mile away, so we're neighbors. I wish I'd met him earlier. Mr. Cavey has 20 years of experience as a commercial insurance specialist and currently works at Atlantic Insurance Group. He also serves as a member of the Advisory Committee on Budget of State Workers' Compensation Commission, the Howard County Plumbing Board, and previously served as a member of the Howard County Consumer Affairs Board. Thank you, Mr. Cavey, for your commitment to service. And committee, I now present Mr. Cavey.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Mr. Cavey? Are you there?
Mr. Cavey is here, but he may be having, I've asked him to unmute, but in fairness, he may be having difficulty finding out how to do that.
Okay.
Wait, there he is.
We can hear you, yes.
I pushed the right button, I'm sorry. I said I've been a resident of the county for more than 70 years, and I was in the gas station business for 15 or 17, and also repair business. And I've been in insurance the last 20. I was on the boards that she had said, and I also used to have a real estate license back in the 70s prior to me going into the service station business. And I found out at that point, you can only do one job. You can't do both. So that's why I got out of that. I've served on this board for Howard County, for the state rather, for workers' comp for now about 4 years, I guess. And they had asked me if there's any other boards I'd like to be on. And I said, well, it really doesn't matter. They said, well, we have some other ones we'd like for you to look at. So they asked me if I would be on the real estate board. So I said, yes. So that's how come I got there. And I enjoy being there. And it's a lot different than it was 30 years ago.
Yes, things do change. Any comments or questions? If not, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. And I'm glad I finally found the right button. Thank you.
I have the same trouble, so don't feel bad.
Bye.
Okay, I'm sure I'm going to get this wrong, but Stephen Fayerick and Senator Feldman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. We've got Mr. Fayerick. He's nominated on the same state commission of real estate appraisers. He's got fantastic resume for this particular commission, extensive professional experience as a finance banking executive specializing in collateral risk management and technology strategy. He's got a number of relevant certifications. Mr. Chair, he's got certification as a senior residential appraisal from the Appraisal Institute. He's a Freddie Mac certified residential underwriter and a level 3 product management certification, which is, I think, pretty coveted. Education-wise, he's got a BA from Harvard University, so we know he's a relatively smart fella. He's got an MBA from Lake Forest Graduate School of Management. And finally, he was nominated by Freddie Mac for a fairly prestigious leadership and strategic executive program at Dartmouth called the Duck Executive Education Program. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'll give you Mr. Fayerick, constituent of mine.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Mr. Fayerick.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Fayerick. It's an absolute honor to be nominated to serve on the committee. I started appraising residential real estate in the mid-'80s, long time ago. I've worked for a number of financial institutions in a number of capacities, ranging from appraising to mortgage loan underwriting to loan fulfillment center oversight. And I'm currently a principal with CoreLogic, with oversight for portfolio valuation and analytics products and services. Prior to that, as I think was mentioned, I was a senior director of policy and quality control at Freddie Mac during the post-crisis recovery period. I'm very excited to be here and would like to, in turn, thank you all for your service and dedication to the great state of Maryland.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments for peers? None. So thank you very much for being here. Okay, we'll move to Stacy Harmon from District 35 and Senator Gallion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. Good afternoon, Senator Jason Gallion here to introduce Ms. Stacy Harmon for appointment to the State Commission of Real Estate Appraisal Management Companies and Home Inspectors. Throughout her nearly 40-year career in real estate, Ms. Hartman has served in various roles such as associate, senior associate, and currently as principal of her commercial real estate valuation and consulting firm. Ms. Hartman has obtained commercial appraiser license in Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. In addition to her extensive professional experience, she is also pursuing an MAI designation from the Appraisal Institute. At this time, please join me in welcoming Ms. Stacy Hartman.
Okay, Ms. Harmon.
Hello there, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Stacy Harmon, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here this evening. I hope that you can see and hear me okay.
Yes, we can.
Always worry about the technical challenges of this. As Senator Gallion said, I've been in the commercial real estate business for approximately 32 years with Littman, Frizzell, and Mitchell. I'm a certified general appraiser in the 3 states that he mentioned, Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. I also have served for the last decade for the Appraisal Institute Maryland chapter in various roles. With the last, I'd say, 4 years, I've been secretary. And I just have a love and passion for real estate and ways to help others. And when I was asked about the board, I immediately submitted all the applications, and it would be my honor to be approved.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions or comments? I love those big checks in a commercial sale.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move to Thomas E. Owen and District 31, Senator Simonaire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Mr. Owen from Pasadena, and I go door to door all the time. And many years ago, I think I stopped at his door. If it's the same one, it's across from a little kennel that they have on the other side of the street. But anyway, he's been a home inspector for over 20 years, and he's been actively involved in various home inspection organizations. And he's been in the building trade for over 50 years. So it's going to be interesting if you can get this whole title on one business card, but I highly recommend Mr. Owens to the State Commission of the Real Estate Appraisers, Appraisal Management Companies, and Home Inspectors.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Mr. Owen. Are you there?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm surprised you remember that. That was a long time ago, and you stood out in my front yard with me, and we had a good conversation. So, like you said, my name's Thomas Owen. I've been a 22-year home inspector. I'm ASHI Gold certified, which means American Society of Home Inspectors. I'm also a member of the Maryland Association of Home Inspectors since they started. I'm also a member of the Board of Realtors. And yes, in 1968 and 69, I was helping my dad hang siding and install windows. So I go way back. I was asked to be a part of this association, this committee, and I said, you know what? I'd like to get involved with that. So it's been an honor to be asked. and hopefully everything goes well. And I also do a lot for the community. I've been a 20-year high school coach at Chesapeake High School for soccer and softball. So hopefully
Great.
this year we will continue to play.
I hope so too. I have some grandsons that really want to get out there.
Yep, the kids are eager to get out there.
Okay, are there any questions or comments for Mr. Owen? And seeing none, I thank you very much for being here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Simoneau.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm impressed that you remember. Both of you.
It's been a while.
Yes. Okay, the next is Gwendolyn Skillern and Senator Kelly.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very happy to introduce my constituent in the 10th District, who is a resident of Owens Mills, Gwendolyn Skillern. She is a BS from the University of California in Berkeley, an MBA from Stanford. She's a certified public accountant. She also holds the GMA, Certified General Management Accountant certification, has been through the executive program at Kaiser Permanente and the leadership program with the Greater Baltimore Committee. She has been an auditor, an assurance services manager, a risk assessment and mitigation officer with a number of organizations, including Care First, Blue Cross of Maryland, Northern Virginia, and the district. She has been a chief auditor for a number of hotel chains in the United States and in the United Kingdom. She is a vice president of internal auditing for a group of such chains. She has served already for one 3-year term on this commission and has been nominated by the governor for a second 3-year term. She has been a chief officer for Kaiser Foundation Health Plan and does a lot of civic work. She has been recognized by the 100 Black Women's Organization, by Marion House, by the National Association of Black Accountants, by the Girl Scouts of Central Maryland, and by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. And I'm happy to introduce and to support Gwendolyn Skillern for another term on this board. We know we're in good hands given her background and her service.
Thank you, Senator. Ms. Skillern.
Yes. Good afternoon. I am actually, well, first, thank you, Senator Kelly, for that great introduction. I am really honored to be introduced by you. I'm actually streaming from Oakland, California right now, so I'm a little ahead of you all. I'm a native Californian, and I came home for a visit and ended up here during the pandemic. But I am honored to have served on the commission. And I must confess, when they first contacted me, I said, well, I'm not a home appraiser and I'm not an inspector. So I was saying, well, what can I bring to the table? But they explained that I would be the consumer representative. And I previously served on, well, I'm currently serving on the Department of Aging Financial Review Committee, where I've served on that since 2018. But after joining the committee and working on the committee for the past 3 years, I see that the skills that I bring to the table are very important, and I can make a contribution. As Senator Kelly said, I am retired. I retired as Senior Vice President and General Auditor for Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield 2 years ago. And since then, I've remained active in the community on a number of boards. But working with the commission, I saw that it's very important to understand controls. I am a homeowner. I own 2 homes and have been through many appraisals and home inspections. And so I appreciate the ability to understand controls, the ability to evaluate compliance with laws and regulations, which we discussed quite a bit on the commission, the ability to assess continuing education. I've been a CPA for 40 years, and I have always maintained my licenses and my continuing education. And also, just to give an independent objective view, I found is often helpful on the commission, not being an appraiser and not being a home inspector, having the ability to sometimes present different perspectives as we look at cases and complaints and compliance with regulations. So I'm very much excited to be appointed to another 3-year term. I've enjoyed working with the commission and Todd Blackstone and the great work that the commission does. So I'm honored to accept another appointment to the commission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? If not, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Enjoy California.
I missed all the snow though.
I don't miss it. You can, I'll ship you some.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Okay, let's move to the Rural Legacy Board. It's a group I worked with in a previous career. And Senator West.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Very good
Thank you,
on Senator West.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's always a pleasure to be with this organization. For the past 35 years, Cricket Goodall has worked for the Maryland Horse Breeders Association, and she's currently its executive director. She's also on the board of the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation. And that organization has a guaranteed seat on the advisory committee of the Maryland Rural Legacy Board. So if confirmed, she will be the representative of the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation on the advisory committee. A highly respected leader in Maryland's rural economy. I'd note in addition that she's a 2003 magna cum laude graduate of the College of Notre Dame of Maryland. I'm pleased to recommend her confirmation.
Okay. Ms. Godon?
So, yes, I am. So,
thank you.
Members, Mr. Chairman and members of this committee, I am so fortunate and I thank the governor for this appointment. As Senator West said in that nice introduction, is I have had a long history in the horse world. As many of you know, you've seen me in that role in Annapolis, but now I am, and I've always been very interested in land preservation, and the ag component of the horse industry has exposed me to a lot of that. So as Senator West said, I am on the board of trustees of MALF and have learned a lot about how that works, and will be representing MALF, the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation, on the Rural Legacy Advisory Committee if you all approve. I am very fortunate to live in northern Baltimore County in an area that has lots of preserved land, and a lot of it due to horse farms. But interestingly enough, it's just, it really reinforces how important land preservation is in the small state that we live in. And so I hope that you will support my my appointment, and I appreciate you taking the time tonight. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here tonight.
Mr. Chairman.
Any questions or comments? Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh.
Just wanted to second the nomination of Ms. Goodall, one of the most knowledgeable individuals I've ever met when it comes to the horse industry, but also the diverse needs of the state of Maryland. She's just a wonderful advocate and will make a great member of this board.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate that thumbs up. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. And we'll move to our last appointment of the night, which is the Technology Development Corporation Board of Directors, and it's Jay Howard and Senator Patterson, who could not be here, but did forward me a letter saying that he strongly endorses the nomination of Mr. Howard. So, Mr. Howard.
Mr. Chairman, I believe
Senator Biden.
I believe that Senator Ellis is here to represent Senator Patterson.
Oh, okay. Senator Ellis. No. Well, if he cuts in before we go, we'll let him on. But in the meantime, Mr. Howard.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Michael J. Howard, and I would like to thank, Chairman Young, Chairman Beidel, and all the other distinguished members of this committee for your time and attention today. I would like to thank the Governor Hogan, for appointing me to the Maryland Technology Development Corporation's Board of Directors. I believe my background and experience, I'm a CPA, born and raised in Baltimore, gravitated and moved to Prince George's County, where I've served on several boards throughout the Library Board for Prince George's County, as well as the Maryland Board for Professional Engineers and the Maryland Venture Fund Authority. I believe that my experience as a private investor, as well as a entrepreneur for 20 plus years, basically will allow me to best serve the mission of TEDCO, as well as the citizens of the state of Maryland. So I would like to thank my family, my wife, Yvonne Howard, my two daughters, Maya and Elise. And with that, I'd like to, open it up for any questions. And just before I do that, I see some other familiar faces. Senator Kelly, Senator Doug Peters, when we served on the library board, as well as Melanie Griffin. So just want to say hello to them and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, I
Oh,
think
yes.
Senator Ellis is there.
Okay. Senator Ellis?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Had a little technology hiccup for a while. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the Executive Nominations Committee. Here representing Senator Obi Patterson, who shares a neighbor and border, District 26 borders 28. And there's a lot of interaction between our two districts. And I just want to recommend the confirmation of Mr. Howard to the Technology Development Corporation Board of Directors. As a fellow CPA, I really respect the work that you do, and Mr. Howard, the knowledge that you'll bring to this board. So congratulations to you and your family, and I recommend the confirmation of Mr. Howard.
All right. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator.
And that concludes with all our appointments tonight. And just make a comment, Charity, Mindy, whoever got this Zoom up tonight, this is the most clarity I've ever seen. With two exceptions, everybody on here looked 10 years younger tonight, except for President Ferguson, who always looks 10 years younger, and Senator Kelly, who looked 20 years younger. But the pictures have been absolutely great tonight. Do we need any time before we take the vote in terms of?
No, Senator Young, we don't. We can proceed.
Okay.
Or take it off mute.
Senator Beidel, would you like to make a motion?
I would like to make a motion that we these tonight, including all the statewide nominees who did not appear tonight.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Senator,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, this is a small administrative note. There is nominee S8, which is Russell N. Shea Jr., is listed as the 46th district. In the resume, it's Falston, Maryland. He looks eminently qualified, but I didn't know if, so I do not represent Falston, Maryland. So I just wanted to make sure that I think that is District 7. It seems certainly qualified to move forward, but I just wanted to make sure that it was noted, and maybe he moved, but.
We can make that correction as part of the motion if everyone's agreeable. Okay. Any discussion farther? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Your ayes. Anyone opposed? If not, it's approved, and before I conclude the meeting, we are still taking a look at who we might and might not bring forward in the future. I've only had one suggestion so far who said, don't bring anybody forward except the judges and secretaries.